Wheelybins TV. Good evening and welcome to the Mount Panorama Bathurst Shootout this evening, brought to you by Wheelybins, Mayhem Republic, and West End Mazda and Limelight Motorsport are our great sponsor. In the commentary box tonight, I have Matt Norris with me, sitting beside me, technically, probably on the other side of the country. How are you this evening, Matt? Sorry, I'll ask you that again. How are you, Matt? Because I was just flicking your mic on at the same time.
Oh, thanks, buddy. It's great to be here. Great to watch V8s go around Bathurst. It's never a bad time to watch that happen.
No, it should be a good night tonight. Plenty of excitement. We've got a 30-minute practice. Well, they're already rolled into an hour practice. We've got the final 30 minutes of practice here at the mountain. Then we'll head into a 20-minute qualify session, and that will set the grid for the rest of the night. However, the top 10 people in the qualifier will go into a top 10 shootout, where they'll fight it out for the final top 10 positions of our 20-minute race this evening, where we've got something a little bit different. If you actually come first in the top 10 shootout, you'll be starting in the 10th position at the race, but there's points on offer for the shootout, so it's an incentive to do well in both categories. It's something different tonight, Matt.
Definitely makes for an odd race start. You want to do well in qualifying and always start well and get those points for qualifying well. But then being put 10th for qualifying on pole, that makes it a hard race to start the lap around Mount Panorama.
And only a 20-minute race here at the mountain tonight, so it's basically a sprint race. You want to make sure you get everything on the grid, as far as the grid as you can, to make sure you're finishing at the pointy end by the end of the night. Heading over to the mountain, having a look at some of the teams on the cars on the track tonight already. Some of the top 10 people. Hang on, I'll press the right button. Some of the top 10 people we've got out on the track at the moment. Braden Bateman's topping the time chart so far in practice with a 2:05, Matt.
Yeah, 2:05 around this place is a decent time. Jamie McKnight's running second at the moment with a 2:06. So the times are coming down in the practice. See if they roll through into the quali like that.
I forgot to look before the setup. You don't have any information on the track temps here tonight, do you, Matt?
I can find out. I'll just stick my head outside the comm box. 24 degrees on the track. So it's quite a cool track for them. It should lead for some really good times if they can get the setup right.
Yeah, we've got Braden Bateman out on the track. The car looking quite slick tonight. Jamie McKnight's in position number 2 with a 2:06. He's 0.3 of a second behind Braden. Hopefully for some good results for him tonight to get himself up in the championships. He's currently sitting second in the overall points championships for the Venom series this year. Doing quite well. However, Nick Cummings, we haven't seen him join tonight's session yet. He's taken out the first 3 races of this round for round 3. Done a hat trick last week at Laguna Seca and put himself in the contentions to win this round of the Venom division.
That's what every driver is always looking for. Round wins and series wins.
It's been a bit of a mixed bag of results, I suppose, for some of the races. We've had Duran, he was out there and won the last series, done quite well, and we had Ned Hoth win the first round. So, been a good mix-up. However, Duran has just come through and put in a 2:04.3 to put himself up to the top of the top 10 for practice so far.
Blistering quick lap there from Duran.
I did see a lap time he cracked into a 2:03, I think it was, in a session previously, but we could see that again tonight.
We could see another lap of the Jandals.
Lap of the Jandals. Some way of different putting it. Having a look at Brendan Ryan's put down a lap of 2:09. I don't think that's his best lap so far. There'll be a little bit more out of him later on.
I think a lot of what this session is about is just gearing yourself up, making sure you've got the right car around you, making sure you can handle 20 minutes at this place.
As we were saying earlier, we hadn't seen Nick Cummings, however, he's now in the session and out on the track doing some warm-up laps. Prepared to see some fast times out of this man tonight. Will he make it 4 from 4 tonight?
I don't know, with that 2:04 from Duran, that's where my money's headed at the moment. I mean, we'll see in qualifying. But everyone likes a shake-up winner.
8 people have set times out here so far this evening. We've still got Shane Evans sitting in position number 9 and Vincent in position 10. You're still yet to set times. We have 12, 13, 14 entries here so far in practice. We've still got another 23 minutes to go to practice and then into the 20-minute qualify session. Riley,
everyone's taking their time, working through it all.
Riley running his famous Riley Curtis designs. Quite a stunning looking car.
There are a few good looking cars out on track, I will admit. Yeah, Ian Wiley car is an older design, but it still looks brilliant in 2018.
Yeah, it suits the new body style, even though it was from one of the previous models of Falcon. It fits well on that car.
It does.
Alan Caldwell in the Falcon as well. Monster Energy livery. I guess it's a throwback to Cameron Waters in the actual V8 Supercar series. Looking good there.
One hasn't actually come up on my screen, but it's a monster livery. I imagine it was going to look great.
It'll be nice when iRacing finally allow us to do matte colours when it comes to painting cars. It'll give a good variance here for the painting liveries.
It will open up a ton of options for different paints and make the cars stand out already much better than they already do.
Bones in the bonus Lawns car put in a good time also, sitting in position 4th here in practice with the 206. Actually just been put down to a 5th position with the 206. He was in the commentary box having a chat to us earlier on. Hasn't raced any of the Venom division so far this year, but keen to get out here and mix it up with these guys and maybe cause an upset for the rest of the series.
Always good if there is an upset. We like to see different people win races different times from each other. Just observing that 206, it was quite a good lap.
Duran back out on track trying to beat that 204. We just caught a shot there of Nick Cummings coming out of the last corner out of the chase, all bent up and sideways, so I don't know if that lap time is going to be much good to him.
It's not a particularly fast line to be all crossed up, but sometimes it may work.
Rob Dennis has also set a not too bad time at 2:08. No doubt he'll be looking for a little bit more of that out of that car, sitting in pits, doing a few setup changes. Get that car to handle a little bit more around here tonight. On screen at the moment. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, that's one thing all the drivers are going to be looking for, is to make sure the car feels comfortable. It's alright to go and set a fast lap time, but you need to handle the car for a lot more than just one lap around this place.
It's a little bit like a sprint race tonight, only a 20-minute race, a little bit different to our 40 and 50-minute sessions where you actually do have to have a car that you can drive for a longer period of time, so a setup that's sort of in between the two. You want that pace for a 20-minute race, but you've got to make sure it's going to be there at the end of the 20 minutes too.
It's all well and good to have a car which is quick, but you need it, as you say, to be there at the final checkered flag.
On screen at the moment, we've got Jamie McKnight, part of West End Mazda Racing, and also a great sponsor of West End Mazda in Blacktown and Parramatta. They help us out here with the Wheelybins Mayhem Republic with great sponsors and great prizes for this series, the Venom series. I'd like to thank Jamie for all his help and assistance with this series. It's been great. minutes to go here in practice. We might just take a quick break and we'll be back with you very, very shortly. Stick around here to Wheelybins TV. Welcome back here to Wheelybins TV. Just a quick break there to get ourselves sorted out. Unfortunately, there might have been a few technical issues there, and Matt's had to drop off the Discord, so you've just stuck with me for a little bit. Hopefully you can get back. Out on the racetrack though, still Duran. He's sitting at the number 1 posse with a 2:04. Still waiting to see a quick lap come out of Nick Cummings, our leader in this round so far. He's done the 3 from 3. See if he can make it 4 from 4 tonight. 15 minutes remaining in this practice session. As we see a big spin there from Braden Bateman. Replay of that, come out of that last corner, gassed it up a little bit too early, put it around and straight back to the pits for him. As we see Shane Evans stepped up to position 3, been out, got himself a good lap time of 2:05.2, back to the pits. Jacob Knight is also out on the track, setting a time of a 2:06.3, putting himself in 6th so far in the practice session. Vincent's also set down a time of 2:07, putting him in position 8th. Bit of a shorter field here so far in the practice session for tonight's race. Could be a little bit of a quieter night out on the track. We'll see how that goes with a little bit longer left in practice. Christopher Kessie out on track, newcomer to the Venom division. Getting a PRA livery there, looking quite well. As we see the reason for Matt dropping off, unfortunately his computer's decided to cook itself, just when you really need it. But anyway, these things happen when it comes to technology. Can't always have it working the right way when you want it to work. And unfortunately Peter wasn't able to join us here this evening. Had some other commitments, but hopefully we'll have him back on next week. Which I'm not too sure. I think he's pretty keen to do the Silverstone 260, so he could be just stuck with me again. But I'm sure Matt will try and sort himself out. He's just posted a few messages in the chat saying that the computer's cooked itself. It's not really that good. As we see another regular head out onto the track. It's Tyson McAvoy. We'll see what he can prove for us this evening. So far put down a 2:06.6, sitting in 8th position. He'll be looking to improve a little bit on that, no doubt. He's always a crowd favourite, Tyson's got fans all over the world that tune into these broadcasts just to watch him race. That's I don't know why, but anyway, we always have that joke with Tyson anyway. Rolling through some of the other drivers as a few more people start to enter the session. Brian Borg out for his warm-up lap here in the practice in the Falcon tonight. Russell Boardman's also joining us. Someone we can call Mr. Consistency, doing quite well in the overall points as well here for the Venom series this year. While we look at the current round leader, Nick Cummings, he still hasn't yet to put down a lap. This track could be playing a little bit of havoc for him tonight. Or it's a game plan. He could be planning on just sneaking up and sniping that top position in the final minutes. Duran still hasn't been able to better his better time, but as we see him come out of the chase, he's warming up the tyres and the brakes. He could be going for a quick lap this time round. No doubt he's getting some practice in for the shootout after the qualifier, so he obviously plans on qualifying in the top 10 tonight to making the shootout as we see him go off on a flying lap. Jump on board Duran's flying lap around here at Mount Panorama. Let's have a listen. As we see Duran bail out of that lap, looks like he's going to fire up and go for another run around the track. Awesome footage there from Duran over the top of the mountain. Still sitting in position 1 with the 2:04.3. A couple of the cars in pits set their time so far. Jacob Knight coming in across the top of the mountain down through the dipper. Christopher's also set a time of 2:07. Vincent's still sitting in position 11. As we see Ian Holt join the server, also out there to throw a lap down for practice before tonight's race. Here's a man that could cause an upset tonight, but we're not going to see it this time as he puts it into the pedigree wall on turn 2. Back to the pits to panel beat that one. Six minutes here to go in practice and into a 20-minute qualifier session. Positions 10 and onwards will be your position for the race tonight. The top 10 people in qualify will then go into a top 10 shootout, and those positions will be for points in the championship. However, it'll be a reverse top 10 shootout for the race grid for the second race. So if you manage to get P1 in the shootout, you'll actually be starting position 10th in the race. So a little bit of a mix-up, a little bit of a change, something interesting. We'll see how many guys go to take the glory and get number 1 in the shootout, or will they just hold back a little bit and take P10 in the shootout but sit on pole when it comes to race time. Always like to do things a little bit different here on Wheelybins. Minutes to go in practice. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to West End Mazda. My name is Jamie McKnight, dealer principal, along with my business partners Terry and Adam Dodd. At West End Mazda we're very proud of many things. We're especially excited to be Australia's oldest Mazda dealer, established in 1963. We're also number 1 dealer for new vehicle sales in Australia and have been many times. And last year in fact we were number 1 globally. We've won the prestigious Mazda Master Dealer Awards 17 times, along with multiple Dealer of the Year awards, as you can see. West End Mazda is a family-owned business, employing over 160 staff, including apprentices, sales trainees, and parts interpreters too. So if you're looking to join an amazing team, we'd love to hear from you. We're Mazda's largest parts wholesale dealer in Australia too, with our recently opened massive spare parts facility at Kings Park. We have showrooms at 2 great locations, North Parramatta and Blacktown, with the Mazda range on display and 100 quality used cars for sale at any time. And our finance teams are on hand 7 days a week to assist you with your new or used purchase. We have 2 very large service workshops servicing over 100 vehicles per day at both Parramatta and Blacktown. Booking your service is easy via our website or our smartphone app. If you're in a hurry, we offer Mazda Quick Service, which means we can have you back on the road in under an hour. And you can have a complimentary coffee and use our complimentary Wi-Fi all while you're waiting comfort. West End Mazda is open 7 days per week at 590 Church Street, North Parramatta and 106 Sunny Holt Road, Blacktown. Plus, our service departments are open 6 days a week for your convenience. So come in and experience West End Mazda for yourself. Next time you're thinking about your new Mazda, I'm sure you'll be very impressed.
Big thanks to our sponsors, West End Mazda and Jamie McKnight, out on the track at the moment. I think he was. No, he might be sitting in the pits at the moment. Big thank you to him for helping us out with this series, putting up with cash and also a t-shirt for the final winner of the championship. And this is race number 4, session number 3 technically of the 3rd round. We've got one more session after this one next Saturday night. It's a Silverstone 260. It's going to be 45 laps of the Silverstone historic GP track, 1 hour of racing, so a little bit longer than tonight's session. Guess the guys are getting a bit of a break tonight, but we'll be behind the wheel for an hour next Saturday night, and that will wrap up round 3. and then we'll kick off with round 4 sometime around early to mid-February. Stay tuned to our website or Facebook page and you'll find more details on that. It'll be all up on our website under the schedule tab. You can find that at wheelybinsmayhemrepublic.com. You can also find out more details about joining iRacing or joining us here at the Wheelybins. We'd like to have you on board. You can come and have a race with us. As we still see Duran out there, we could say he is going the distance tonight. 2:04.3, he said that early on in the session. He's still out there to better it. He might be doing some tweaking a little bit more. Throws it in hard into the chase, a little bit sideways as he comes off the edge of the track. Not a lot of curb usage, keeps the car settled through the chase. Jacob Knight also back to pit lane, getting some repairs done to that car. You see Riley Curtis come around the first corner there, up Mountain Straight. Jump in with Riley as he heads up Mountain Straight in the Falcon. So far his best laps are 2:07.6, 3 seconds off the pace. We'll see what he can put down this time. See Riley do himself a bit of a Scotty McLaughlin at the top of the hill. We'll see if he can set down a 2:03 after this lap. Pretty big off track across the top of Skyline there. Whoa, and wide in Forest Elbow. Oop. As we flick to the wrong camera, and this session for practice has finished. Rolled up, we'll be going straight into qualifying now. All the cars head back to pit lane. It'll be an open qualify session, so they'll all be out on the track. Hopefully they can find themselves a piece of track to get their lap down. See the cars exit pit lane, head out onto their warm-up lap. 20 minutes of qualifying here. The top 10 in the qualify will go through the shootout. 10 and above, that will be their starting positions for tonight's 20-minute race here at Mount Panorama. As we see, the pack have been out for their warm-up. They're all now on their first flying laps. Shane Evans leading them up the mountain for the first time through turn 2. Up towards the cutting, he's got Brendan Bateman sitting right on his tail. A little bit of a front wheel lock up through the cutting. Look at the brakes. Down through the grate, up across onto Skyline. Not a very tidy exit out of Forest Elbow there for Shane. Below his lap time a little bit. Shane, a big fan of the Scotty McLaughlin number 17. Team Penske, Dick Johnson Racing. Also one of the main guys here in the Wheelybins Mayhem Republic. Puts up most of our races every night of the week, 365 days a year. Also heavily involved in running these sessions for the series of the Venom. A little bit of a lock up into that last turn. We'll see what sort of a lap time he puts down as he crosses the line. 2:05 was his lap time. 2:05.3. However, Braden Bateman sitting right behind him actually managed to beat him by 0.2 of a second, as we see Kyle Stokes go to the top of the time cheats there. Kyle Stokes has put down a 2:04.8. Good time there for Kyle. We've seen a 2:04.3 from Duran in practice. Alan Cordwell putting in a 2:05, put it in 4. Kyle, a big slide on turn 2. Through the cutting. Oh, big loss of traction. That'll send him back to the pits and some heavy repairs before the end of the session. He's got that lap out though. We'll see if that can be beaten. Braden Bateman 0.2 of a second off that time with a 2:05. Russell Boardman's also put down a 2:07.4. Brendan Ryan sitting in 9th, a 2:08. Matthew Belton, a 2:09. Brian Borg's also snuck into the top 3 with a 2:05.2. Pushing Shane Evans back to 4th position in the qualify. Big slide also after turn 2. Catching a few guys out tonight. See, McHale has joined the server in the Playboy car tonight, setting a 2:06.5, sitting in position 7. Some of you may or may not know, McHale races with us here all the way from Sweden. He joins us in his lunch breaks and to race these sessions. Quite appropriate sponsorship there with the Kleenex and the Playboy. Something a little bit different from McHale. Sitting in front of him, Ian Holt, still yet to put down a time here in the qualify session, as he does just then, putting across the time, putting in P9, a 2:07. McHale's been shuffled back to 8th position with the 2:05. As we see Duran head to the top of the time charts once again with a 2:04.2. Taking half a second off Kyle Stokes' time and 0.1 of a second off his fastest practice time also. As you see Nick Cummings out for the qualifying session. Didn't see a lap out of him for the practice. expecting good things from him tonight. He's done the hat trick last week, 3 from 3 races in this round so far. Can he make it 4 tonight? He'll be looking for a good start, no doubt, and a good position off the grid. Stay out of any chaos or trouble that might plague the rear of the field. Matthew Belton with a 209 sitting in position 14. Did quite well last week at Laguna Seca. Had a successful race. Just a couple of these Venom series for him. Tyson McAvoy sitting in position 10 as he comes across the line with the 206.6 in the Red Bull Wheelybins car. He's decided that's possibly enough for him. We know he can actually get a 205 out of that car, so maybe he's make some changes and head back out. Got another 11 minutes remaining in this qualify. As we see Muttley, Ian Holt in the Wheelybins and Limelight sponsored car. Round the last corner, a 207 for his last time. Has he made any improvements on that this time round? No, 207 is what's going to stay, still sitting in position 11. Tyson just crept into the top 10 there with the 206.6. Duran the Wolf still sitting in P1, affectionately known as the Wolf. Braden Bateman in position 3. This is the top 10 list you want to be on to make sure that you qualify to get through to the top 10 shootout tonight. JC Richards has also joined us here. Didn't qualify, a fair bit of damage to that car. It looks like he's still on for a lap, although if he has made contact with the wall, that lap won't count this time round. He might still go for another one. Sitting in position 14 so far with a 207.8. Vincent in position 16, a 208. You squeeze a little bit more out of that car, Vincent. We know he can do better. As we just see Nick Cummings set the fastest lap here in qualify, go for a 203.8. We knew there was going to be big things coming. It's his first lap, actual time he put around this track, and it's a 203.8. Straight back to the pits to park that car up. He'll be happy with that. That's almost half a second faster than Duran. As you see Duran come across the line with a 204 almost flat. So he's shaved 3/10 off that last time, putting him in 0.1 of Nick. Heading back out for another lap, just try and squeeze a little bit more out of that to get the top position back. Seriously fast times here at the track tonight. Even down in McHale sitting in position 10 with the 205.9 is nothing to sneeze at. I certainly wouldn't be a part of that list with my best only being about a 205.9, and I certainly can't achieve that consistently or regularly. Shane Evans also back in the pits at position 7. Alan Caldwell sitting in position 8 with the 205.5. Seven minutes here to go in qualify. break and we'll be right back shortly. Welcome back here to Wheelybins TV. Another 6 minutes here remaining in qualify for the top 10. As we see the top 10 leaderboard right there, Nick Cummings sitting up the top with a 2:03.8. Duran right behind him, only by 0.1 of a second, 2:04 flat. Kyle Stokes 2:04.8 in third. Brian Borg in fourth, the 2:04. 2:04.8 for Jacob Knight in fifth. Number 6, Braden Bateman, who was up the top of the list at the start of this session, slipped down there with the 2:05 flat. Shane Evans position 7 for the number 17 and the 2:05.2. Alan Caldwell number 8. Jamie McKnight position 9 and Mikhail sitting in position 10. All the big names in position 10 will go over to Bones, who's sitting in position 11 with the 2:06.5. 2:06.5 puts him 0.7 back from Mikhail. He'll find himself 3/4 of a second to get up into that top 10 position and put himself into the shootout. Hitting the curbs like that certainly isn't a way to achieve time though. As you see him come across the line with an invalid lap, possibly a off track like that would be enough to cause you an invalid lap. Tyson McAvoy sitting in position 13 at the moment. He's going to have to squeeze some more pace out of that car. We know he can get a 2:05 out of it. So far best 2:06.6, that was his last lap. Down in the chase through the gears. Had a big loose out of that last corner. You see him put down a 2:06.5, so a little bit faster, but still leaves him in position 13. No improvement up the grid, and round he goes into the wall. Back to the pits there for Tyson. JC Richards is coming out of the pits. Fire up for another lap. Ian Holt also heading out on another lap. 2:07 is his best time so far in position 15. I'm sure we can see a little bit more out of Muttley this evening. A little bit loose in turn 2. Whoa, big flip of the wall. That's another one round and round. So we're smashing them up pretty quick here tonight. Try and get a replay of that one. Yeah, big hit of the wall. A little bit too wide over that curb, and that was all she wrote. Duran down into the chase, pushing to see if he can get a little bit more out of that car. We'll see what he can pull out this time. So far sitting on a 2:04 flat. He needs to take almost 0.2 of a second off that. Not quite, a little bit slower. 10 hundredths slower than his previous lap. 2 minutes remaining here in this qualify session. He's got one more shot at it. Although position 2 is enough to get him into the shootout tonight. Mikhail sitting right on the edge at the moment in position 10 in the Playboy and Kleenex sponsored car tonight. Out of Forest Elbow, down the main straight. Still his best times are 2:05.7. See if he can squeeze any more out of that. He might have a little bit too much of that Nivea men's hand cream on the steering wheel. Could be hampering his efforts tonight. Lassie's taken a big shortcut across the grass there. Always something different. Mikhail with the Halloween skull helmet. Supposed to be intimidating, evidently, for other drivers if they're in the rearview mirror. Not too sure how that works out for him. Each to their own. As you see, Jamie McKnight done a best of a 2:05.6. In the final 45 seconds, he'll get a chance to finish this lap off this time round. We'll see if he can pull up into a better position, but 9th's enough to get him into the top 10 shootout. The exit, quick downshifts into the cutting. Smooth exit. He's got a clip of the wall there. That will make that lap invalid, I'm pretty sure. Could be the end of his qualifying efforts for tonight. Qualify wraps up. I'm pretty sure the top 10 are sorted. We've seen Nick Cummings sitting into position number 1 for the top 10 tonight with a 2:03.8. Duran number 2, number 3 Kyle, Brian in number 4, Jacob number 5, 6 Braden Bateman, the Chief Shane Evans in number 7, Alan Caldwell number 8, Jamie McKnight number 9, and Mikhail in number 10. Beyond number 10, we got Jason Richards in number 11, Christopher Casey number 12, Graham Bayland in the position 13, Tyson McAvoy 14, Ian Holt 15, Russell Boardman 16, 17 is Riley Curtis, position 18, Vincent Skilbeck, Ian Wiley in position 19, Matthew Belton in position 20, Brendan Ryan position 21, Robert Decimus in 22, and 23 rounding him out tonight, Tim Dawes. That's all the people we have in tonight's session. We will be moving over for the top 10 shootout, where these guys will be fighting it out for the top 10 positions on the grid. Although it's a little bit of a reverse fun game tonight, those grids will be reversed. So there's points on the line for the top 10 shootout, so they're wanting to get top points by getting that number 1, but by getting number 1 also penalises you in the race. You'll be sitting in P10 when it comes race time. We'll be back shortly. We'll have to change over servers to our shootout server, so we'll be back real soon. This is Wheelybins Mayhem Republic, Wheelybins TV. I hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast.
Welcome to West End Mazda. My name is Jamie McKnight, dealer principal, along with my business partners Terry and Adam Dodd. At West End Mazda we're very proud of many things. We're especially excited to be Australia's oldest Mazda dealer, established in 1963. We're also #1 dealer for new vehicle sales in Australia and have been many times. And last year in fact, we were #1 globally. We've won the prestigious Mazda Master Dealer Awards 17 times, along with multiple Dealer of the Year awards, as you can see. West End Mazda is a family-owned business, employing over 160 staff, including apprentices, sales trainees and parts interpreters too. So if you're looking to join an amazing team, we'd love to hear from you. We're Mazda's largest parts wholesale dealer in Australia too, with our recently opened massive spare parts facility at Kings Park. We have showrooms at 2 great locations, North Parramatta and Blacktown, with the Mazda range on display and 100 quality used cars for sale at any time. And our finance teams are on hand 7 days a week to assist you with your new or used purchase. We have 2 very large service workshops servicing over 100 vehicles per day at both Parramatta and Blacktown. Booking a service is easy via our website or our smartphone app. If you're in a hurry, we offer Mazda Quick Service, which means we can have you back on the road in under an hour. And you can have a complimentary coffee and use our complimentary Wi-Fi, all while you wait in comfort. West End Mazda is open 7 days per week at 590 Church Street, North Parramatta and 106 Sunny Holt Road, Blacktown. Plus, our service departments are open 6 days a week for your convenience. So come in and experience West End Mazda for yourself. Next time you're thinking about your new Mazda, I'm sure you'll be very impressed.
Hey guys, welcome to another Wheelybins late night session here at Daytona, along for what was meant to be rallycross Red Bull cars and stuff, but due to a mistake we got V8, so we decided to run the race with the V8. So there's 10 laps of...
Welcome to West End Mazda. My name is Jamie McKnight, dealer principal, along with...
Hey guys, welcome to another Wheelybins late night session here at Daytona, along for what was meant to be rallycross Red Bull cars and stuff, but due to a mistake we got V8, so we decided to run the race with the V8. So there's 10 laps of us being very mental on dirt with V8s, so sit back and have fun watching. As you can see, it's very, very sketchy on the dirt. As Shane takes the Joker lap. Riley almost running into the back of him there.
I've modified my car so much that it no longer performs on roads either.
Welcome back to the mountain. Wheelybins Mayhem Republic, Wheelybins TV Venom series here at Mount Panorama for the Bathurst Shootout. We're here for the shootout this evening as we see Mikhail head out on the track for his showdown lap. Just listening into race control there. Mikhail out there at the moment is qualifying in position 10, first one out there in the shootout. He needs to keep this car tidy around for this lap, warm-up lap at the moment. Any laps, any fouls of the wall or off tracks during your official lap won't be counted, and it will put you to the back of the top 10. I'm sure how the race control will deal that, because if you're at the back of the top 10, technically you're pole for the race, but who knows. As we hear Mikhail on the radio saying, "Oh dear, how was that?" Down around the last corner, on for his flyer. Whoa, a bit of a lock up to turn one. That's not gonna help. Not going to help his speed up Mountain Straight. The chase for Mikhail. His flying lap throws through the gears. A little bit loose there. Had to recorrect, reset the steering. Nice and wide entry into that corner. Keep it steady. He sits down at 2:05.9. Good time there for Mikhail. Next out on the track, Alan Caldwell. In the last half of his warm-up lap. Nice clean entry into that final corner. Get a good run onto the start straight. You won't try and get some green on the track timing as you come into this first corner. Maintain mid-corner speed up Mountain Straight to keep that green bar in the green. Important part of the circuit here. You can lose a lot of time if you get bad exit out of that turn one. Nice and firm. Keep the car straight into the brakes to turn two. Watching that outside curb. Just a little clip. Not too bad. Oh, a bit sideways as he comes up out of the cutting. That's going to cost him some time, unfortunately. He's lucky to hold on to that one. It's a difficult part of the track. And he's grabbed some wall as well. That will put that lap out. No time will be registered for that one, no doubt. Big damage to the front of the car. A bit of a slide out of the cutting would have upset it. His rhythm across the top. It can sometimes take 3 or 4 corners to get yourself back, and just coming through the grate there, he's got a little bit wide. Feeding at the gears down into the chase, a little bit loose also again. Hold it quite tight on the exit there, slow him down a little bit of the straight line speed into this corner. Nice entry, little bit of curb on the exit. Lucky to say that 2:06.8 he's registered for that time. He's managed to get away with that contact across the top, and very lucky to get away with that. As we see Jamie McKnight come across the line to start his flying lap. Once again, a big thanks to Jamie McKnight for his sponsorship with the West End Mazda Group. Been putting up $20 iRacing gift vouchers for the winners of these rounds, and a grand $30 iRacing voucher for the finale overall champion, plus the champions t-shirt as well. So big thanks to Jamie for that. Had a look at the lap times now, and we can confirm that unfortunately Alan, I think, is going to miss out on a top 10 time. Unfortunately my name ends up on the list as I'm locked into the session, but I'm certainly not getting a lap out there tonight. Jamie across the top of the mountain, nice and tidy, keeps it off the curb of the skyline. Little bit of gutter. Sounded almost like a bit of a gear skip there. He might have missed a gear and had to downshift 2 into the dipper. Tidy entry at the forest elbow, nice exit. Great straight line speed. Down into the chase, heavy on the brakes. Just keep it off the curb, good apex. A little bit of wide, right out on the gutter. Hard onto the brakes into turn. Last one, and across the line. 2:05.9 for Jamie, putting him into P1 so far. Awesome lap. As we see, the next person out on the track as my thing is Shane Evans, the Chief, in the number 17 car around the last corner to start his flying lap. Unfortunately, Alan's lap won't be registering here in the top 10 shootout, which will put him back in 10th position. Little bit of a forgiveness, I suppose, for the person who does come P1 in this shootout. Now they will only be starting from P9 on the grid. Nice clean corners as he comes through turn 2. Down 2 gears, a little bit of a lock up at the front left. As he come over the rise, the cutting. car very tight across the top. Forest elbow, nice and tidy. Down Conrod straight, 260 kilometres an hour, 265, 270, 285, just hitting 289 kilometres an hour. A little bit of a lock up, a little bit off the curb with the apex there. Probably seen him a little bit wide, which has hurt him for the exit of that corner there. Final turn now. See what the Chief has managed to pull off for this flying lap. A 2:05.14 puts him to the top of the ladder by 0.7 of a second over Jamie McKnight too. You see Braden Bateman out now. A little bit later out for his warm-up lap. Comes down Conrod straight. Over the line to start his flying lap. Nice corner entry, nice and wide on the entry. Good apex, good exit. Mid corner speed helps him up mountain straight, up over the rise. A little bit of wheel spin as you reach the crest, got to keep that car straight. Tiny little pinch of the rears, set the rear a little bit loose. It didn't upset the car too much. Still got a good entry into the corner. Hit that apex nicely. Good exit. And through the cutting. Good exit there, keeping it straight. Short shift over the rise. Great footage there, camera angles right on the edge of the wall as they scoot across the top. A little bit taily in through the dipper, didn't have that speed, but may have unsettled himself for the exit. This is where it matters, in the Forest elbow. Good entry, good exit. You can have a stellar lap and then get to Forest elbow and it will just ruin it for you. It's always one of those tough corners to get right. Undulating and the car's wide as you come over that rise on the brakes. Hard to get the apex, hard to get that exit with that wall. Braden's managed to do it very well. Maybe a little bit too much curb. Good apex and exit on that corner. Into the last turn now. Very tidy. A 2:05.8 puts him into position 2 behind Shane Evans. Nice lap there by Braden. Jacob Knight out on track now. Our 5th car out on the track tonight. He set a 2:04 in qualifying. 2:04.8 he set in qualifying. So far that would set him at pole position with the Chiefs' fastest lap for here for the shootout, a 2:05.1. So a 2:04.8 will put him into P1, but he's probably going to want to get up to around about a 2:04 flat to be up there with Duran and Nick. up over the rise. 254 kilometres an hour, 5th gear, down 2 gears to the right-hander. 3rd gear, quick into 4th, back to 3rd, back to 2nd. Gentle acceleration out of the cutting, a quick shift to 3rd over the rise, limiting the wheel spin, a little bit loose and maybe a touch of the wall there. Definitely loose across there, he's had to pull out of the throttle. Little touch of the brake across the grate there to settle the vehicle as well. Great turn there across Skyline, perfect line. Great line down through the dip, plenty of mid-corner speed, but that little bit of a hiccup across the top's probably going to hurt that time. Power down early out of Forest Elbow, great run right up against the wall. See if he can recover those couple and maybe a second that he lost across the top, pulling out of the throttle. Right out on the apron. And the brakes early, keeps the car straight. Little bit of curb. You see Jacob Knight cross the line with a 2:05.3. Puts him into 2nd position here in the shootout. Not a bad lap. Brian Borg coming down off the warm-up lap. Ready for his shootout lap. Did a 2:04.8 in qualifying. He'd be looking to possibly get a little bit more on that. Straight, you hear the rear of the car get a little bit loose, a little bit of a free spool, hard on the brakes, late turn in. Nice and tidy across the top. Concentration in the cockpit, no doubt, keeping it tidy. Good entry, good exit. Looks to be a quick time. It could certainly be. It'll certainly be a 2:04. Will it be a sub 2:04? Nice out on the apron. Short shift to 3rd gear there, a little bit unsteady. Around in the last corner and across the line. A 2:04.8 puts him up into position number 1 for the shootout here this evening. Kyle Stokes was in qualified position 3 with a 2:04.8 also, just a little bit quicker than Brian in qualify. Rounds the last corner in the Autobahn car. I believe this will be the livery for Craig Lowndes this year on the real life V8 Supercar series. Nice and steady across the top of that rise there. Very little wheel spin on this car. The setup must be just right. Runs a little bit wide over the curb. Lift a little bit there across the skyline to keep the car on the track and off that curb. Down through the dipper. Back on the power early, good control. Bit of an early downshift there by the sound of it. Great looking car. Down Conrod Straight. Right out on the limit. Hitting 290 kilometers an hour before he backs off the throttle onto the brakes. Back to second gear. Quick third into that right hander. Down the last little straight. Nice wide entry. Pulls a 2:04.5 for Kyle. Puts him up into P1. Good time there. That is 0.2 faster than his previous qualify session. So great time there. As we see the Wolf Duran out on the track. All-Star Motorsports. Hoping to upset Nick Cummins' weekend today. Nick's had 3 from 3 and Duran is sure to come in and destroy that party tonight. Hopefully he gets a good run here in this shootout. Good little warm up of the car. Great exit out of the corner. Nice straight exit in that out of turn 1 up the mountain. Keeping the car nice and straight. Might have buttoned off a little bit over that rise. Hard to tell. Okay, you've got no nick, eh? Ran down Conrod Straight at the moment. Discussion in pit lane as to the last vehicle. Nick could be out on his warm-up lap now. We'll see what Duran has got for this lap. Can he beat a 2:03.8 that Nick set down in qualifying? A little bit of a slide, good exit. 2:03.82 sends him to the top of the list. A 2:08.32 is faster than what Nick put down in qualify. So Nick put down a 2:03.837. And sounds like we may have had a mechanical fault with Nick coming out on the track. He's had to go out in his warm-up, but he's had a problem with his wheel and had to go back to pit lane, so that may be the end of his qualifying session. Hey guys, you got Daniel in the commentary box at the moment. Great top 10 session there. Unfortunately, it's a bit of unfortunate there for Nick Cummings in the end. A bit of an error with the sim and unable to make it out on the track. But Duran, position number 1 for the top 10 shootout. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer that I had PC issues myself, problems with the internet again, and kicked me out of the session, and I was frantically running around the living room trying to work out what was going wrong with the modem, reset the computer, and I just made it back in, so it's a bit unfortunate for Nick, but yeah, thanks. I didn't think I was going to be able to pull off a 2:03 tonight, but managed to scrape one in there.
Yeah, awesome time. Well done. Kyle sitting in position 2 for the shootout. Well done to you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. So, actually, it's the fastest I've been around here on that. So, track was pretty good. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. Well done to Duran, unlucky for Nick.
And Brian, number 3 in the top 10 shootout. So, yeah, pretty happy with that lap?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the lap. Stuffed up on the first corner, but yeah, pretty happy.
Well done. And Jamie McKnight, P7, but that's a good omen, I suppose. You're towards the pointy end when it comes race time with this reverse grid top 10 shootout for the 20-minute race coming up shortly. Good lap around the circuit, Jamie?
Yeah, Dan, it was a fair lap, but I wasn't in any rush knowing it was a reverse grid. I like the guys' attitudes to go out there and set a fast one, but I thought, well, we'll just cruise around and make sure we don't hit the wall, and I was very happy with that.
Well done, and we'll see you in the race very shortly for 20 minutes around here at the mountain. It's almost a sprint race. It's going to be hectic, no doubt.
It's actually 20 laps, Dan. It's set down for 20 laps, mate. You must have read your program wrong.
Typical me, reading things incorrectly again. 20 laps around here at the mountain. It's a little bit longer than expected, but anyway, that's around about a 40-minute race. I think that's what we've got anyway.
Yeah, correct, mate. 40 minutes, 2 pit stops. 45 minutes, I suppose, 2 pit stops.
As here, race control, Shane telling me how things are supposed to be run around
here.
So
the race server will be up in about...
We'll turn him off there so he doesn't distract me in the background. So we are here at Mount Panorama for the top 10 shootout. Congratulations to Duran in P number 1 taking out the shootout. We'll be back real shortly. We'll be into the race. It's 20 laps around here at Mount Panorama. It'll be a tough one. A couple of pit stops thrown in there as well. Will be good fun. Thanks for sticking around so far. Stick around after these ads. We will be back here for our 20 lap race, Mount Panorama. Wheelybins TV on Wheelybins Mayhem Republic.
Welcome to West End Mazda. My name is Jamie McKnight, dealer principal, along with my business partners Terry and Adam Dodd. At West End Mazda we're very proud of many things. We're especially excited to be Australia's oldest Mazda dealer, established in 1963. We're also #1 dealer for new vehicle sales in Australia and have been many times. And last year in fact, we were #1 globally. We've won the prestigious Mazda Master Dealer Awards 17 times, along with multiple Dealer of the Year awards, as you can see. West End Mazda is a family-owned business, employing over 160 staff, including apprentices, sales trainees, and parts interpreters too. So if you're looking to join an amazing team, we'd love to hear from you. We're Mazda's largest parts wholesale dealer in Australia too, with our recently opened massive spare parts facility at Kings Park. We have showrooms at 2 great locations, North Parramatta and Blacktown, with the Mazda range on display and 100 quality used cars for sale at any time. And our finance teams are on hand 7 days a week to assist you with your new used purchase. We have 2 very large service workshops servicing over 100 vehicles per day at both Parramatta and Blacktown. Booking a service is easy via our website or our smartphone app. If you're in a hurry, we offer Mazda Quick Service, which means we can have you back on the road in under an hour. And you can have a complimentary coffee and use our complimentary Wi-Fi, all while you wait in comfort. West End Mazda is open 7 days per week at 590 Church Street, North Parramatta and 106 Sunny Holt Road, Blacktown. Plus, our service departments are open 6 days a week for your convenience. So come in and experience West End Mazda for yourself. Next time you're thinking about your new Mazda, I'm sure you'll be very impressed.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Hey guys, welcome to another Wheelybins late night session here at Daytona, along for what was meant to be rallycross Red Bull cars and stuff, but due to a mistake we got V8, so we decided to try run the race with the V8. So there's 10 laps of us being very mental on dirt with V8s, so sit back and have fun watching. As you can see, it's very, very sketchy on the dirt. As Shane takes the Joker lap. Riley almost running into the back of him there.
I've modified my car so much that there's no longer Falmouth Road either.
Oh, fucking dear, I took one of those bloody wheels. It's ready to straighten me up. Yeah, you don't do it.
Good gaggle here. Got Riley, Shane and Bones. Behind that we have Russell and
Welcome back to Mount Panorama for the Wheelybins Mayhem Republic Venom series, hosted here on Wheelybins TV. It's the Mount Panorama Bathurst Shootout tonight. So far we've had a great round of practice, some qualifying and also a shootout race here this evening. Durand taking out the position 1. Kyle Stokes in position 2, Brian Borg, Shane Evans in position 4, Jacob Knight position 5, position 6 Braden Bateman, Jamie McKnight position 7, and position 8 Mikhail was able to make it. Unfortunately, Alan was unable to put down a lap with some contact across the top of the mountain, and Nick Cummings also had some errors with his sim rig, which was meaning he couldn't take part in the shootout, which has also put him back to the back of the grid. However, having a look at the session at the moment, I'm not too sure what's happening. It says we've got a qualifier left of 3 minutes. I'm not too sure if that's changed and what's going on in the session at the moment, so we'll just hang tight a little bit for a while we wait for the race controller to sort that out, hopefully shortly. You are here on Wheelybins TV watching the Venom Division Venom series here at Mount Panorama this evening. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Stick around for some more. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and you won't miss any of the action.
Can we ride in this moment? Can we ride? Nothing's stopping us tonight.
Just a little bit of a delay while we wait for the server session to come up. Sorry about that. Thought the session would come up, managed to go into the wrong one, so we're waiting for the session to come up right now. Won't be too far away, guys. welcome back to Wheelybins TV. Thank you very much for your patience this evening. A couple of little errors on my behalf there, getting into the server and making sure we're at the right place at the right time. Doing all the big jobs here at Wheelybins TV. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to our major sponsors tonight for the Venom series, West End Mazda and Limelight Motorsport. Without them, the prizes wouldn't be available for this series, and some of the great racing we've seen throughout the series wouldn't also be available. So we thank them for joining us on the series and being a part of the Wheelybins and Mayhem Republic. Currently, the cars are out on track doing their warm-up. It's been a long evening so far, all coming down to this 20-lap race around here at Mount Panorama. About a bit over a 40-minute race. We normally do about 19 laps in 40-minute sessions, so 20-lap race, bit over 40 minutes. Long time around this circuit here at Mount Panorama. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Thanks to the guys chatting in chat. I'm sorry if I don't get back to you. Flipping between screens sometimes confuses the hell out of me, so I tend to let that go a little bit when I'm here on my own. Heading down to the track, the car's out on the circuit warming up at the moment. We have our P1 sitter, Duran Nakora. P1 in the shootout. Unfortunately, Nick couldn't make it into the shootout. He had a wheel error. He couldn't get out there for his lap. It set him back towards the back rear. I'm not sure whether it's the rear of the field or possibly just rear of the top 10. Rear of the top 10 sounds like it would make sense. Duran, I think, will be in position 8, with Alan being unable to complete a lap in the shootout due to contact with the wall. The Duran should score a position 8 for that one there. I think we might see Mikhail towards the pointy end this evening to start tonight's race here at Mount Panorama. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the warm-up at the mountain. Good to see everybody come back after the top 10 shootout, ready for this race here. So far we've seen some great times in the 203 for Nick and Duran, managing 203s around here at Mount Panorama. It's quite a task to get a car around here that quick, that's for sure. Even the top 10 were all less than 205.9. I think Mikhail was in the top 10 at a 205.9. That's an awesome lap time here around the track, and we just see Russell get a little bit wide over the skyline there. Yeah, to achieve a 205.9 around here is no easy feat. So to be in that top 10, all the drivers in that top 10 did really well to get there. So congratulations to them. Of course, that's not to say one of the guys that out of the top 10 can't win it here tonight. We've got some very good talent here in the track, on the track tonight. People like Tyson McAvoy. He's won a Wheelybins race before. It's always consistently up the front, providing keep that car straight and narrow on the track, as we see him down Conrod Straight now. Wasn't quite able to switch into the top 10 shootout tonight, but that shouldn't be too bad for him. To stay out of trouble, he'll be able to achieve a good result from wherever he is on the grid tonight. Belton in the WPC concreting Commodore. Great to see him out on the track here tonight. JC Richards, another one who's got potential to upset some of the lead drivers tonight. He's had some great rounds here in the Venom series. Wasn't able to squeeze enough out of that car to make it into the top 10 unfortunately tonight, but it's not to say he can't work his way up towards the front. As we see, Nick Cummings has managed to get a repair done on his sim rig. Possibly things aren't quite right. He's pulling up there on the mountain straight in the warm-up. Testing some things out, might have some errors still. That's the end of the warm-up session. The race is about to start as we will hit the grid here at Mount Panorama. Thank you very much here for joining us. It's been great to be here. I hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Wheelybins TV. As we see the cars start to hit the grid. See Mikhail there on the front of the grid as we hear the red's starting to rise. A little bit of a jump there I think by Shane possibly. Some puff of tyre smoke. That's not going to be good. Mikhail gets an awesome start away. It's going to be tough for him to get there. Once Mikhail's out in front he can make that car very wide, and being that it is a Playboy car, these guys will be hesitant to pass. It's probably got some booby traps in the side planned for these guys. Up the inside as we see Jamie McKnight trying to take around the outside. He gets around the outside of Mikhail and into the lead. Great racing there. Back to Mikhail in second. Braden Bateman in third. Jacob Knight third. Fourth. Brian Borger fifth. Sixth. Kyle Stokes Duran back in 7. Shane Evans in 8. JC Richards in 9. Christopher Casey position 10. Bones in 11. Riley Curtis in 12. Tyson in 13. Russell back to 14. Brendan Ryan back in 17th position. Tim Dawes at the back of the pack. Must have been some carnage there. Got plenty of smoke pouring off that vehicle. Unfortunately, it looks like Vincent's not managed to start this race. A little bit more of a pile up at the cutting. I think that was JC. Oh, and another big crash there. That's Rob Dennis, I think, involved with that. And possibly Riley Curtis. No, not Riley Curtis. The other Riley Curtis Designs car. Pushed up there at Forest Elbow. After the first lap we see Jamie McKnight leading the pack around the last corner. One lap down to 20. Seven, 8 cars here in this lead pack. Shane the Chief back in P8. Big wheel lock up there in the cutting. Riley Curtis also a big lock up P10. Nick Cummings fighting his way back after that problem in the shootout. Up the inside of Riley. Nice clean pass. No doubt we'll see some awesome lap times out of Nick fighting his way back to the front. Tyson in position 12. Russell Boardman 13. Big damage there to JC's car after that incident at the Forest Elbow. We've seen a couple of cars in the pits. There's Christopher, who's turned involved in that Forest Elbow incident. He's been in the pits, had some repairs to the car. Also, Rob Dennis is back out on the racetrack. Vincent Skilbeck back out on the track after some repairs to that car, and Tim Dawes just heading out now after some repairs done on that car. 2 minutes in the pits, so that was a tow back to the pits. Big disadvantage for him. They come across the line to start lap 3. There's our top 10. Jamie up the top. He'll be looking for a win here, get some more points over Nick here in this championship. Jacob sitting in P2. Also on the hunt for some more points for his championship. You can see Duran fighting in the back, steps up to second position past Jacob there. No, Jacob's managed to keep that position, but Duran's looking to the pass. Wants to get ahead of Jamie and start that run ahead because he knows that Nick is in position 8th and catching quick. Across the top of Skyline. Nice and easy, nothing rushed there by Jamie, keeping his cool. Letting these boys fight it out at the back. Jacob, Duran and Brian here in 3. Kyle Stokes sitting right behind them as well, looking for an opportunity to pass Duran a little bit wide there. Managed to hold it, and a bit of damage to the right hand side of his car. Could have been a clip of the wall. Racing here at the front. Lap 3's done and dusted. Shane Evans, the Chief, sitting in position 6. Watching this madness unfold ahead. Oh, a little bit loose, manages to hold on to that. That could have been quite scary. Could have been a wall for sure. You see Nick's moved up into position 7, he's began the chase. Braden Bateman in 8th. Bones in 9, Tyson in position 10. Great improvement there for Tyson. A bit of damage to the front of his vehicle, but hopefully that's not hindering his speed. Riley chasing hard out of position 11, and Russell Boardman doing well also in position 12. Kale, who started up the front of the grid, has dropped back to position 14 unfortunately. I can't see any damage on that vehicle. Hasn't made any pit stops. Possibly having some issues. Brendan Ryan, position 15 in the Rhino High Condor. A little bit of an inside lock-up running wide there through the cutting. Got to be careful, that tyre power wall will sneak up on you fast. JC Richards, damage to the left-hand side of his car. Christopher, of course, had himself a pit stop earlier on. Still on the lead lap, luckily. Hasn't lost too much ground. Sitting in position 17. Robert Dennis caught up in that Forest Elbow incident also. 2:07.2, his best lap this race. That was his last lap around. Fresh car, he'll be on the chase now to gain back some of that time. And Tim Dawes sitting 2 minutes down behind the leader. You see Jamie McKnight rounding him up as he comes through the chase there now. He'll be hoping not to go a lap down, but Jamie will be looking to put him in his rear view mirror. Vincent unfortunately looks like he's had to pull out of this race, sitting in the pits. There's our leader, the West End Mazda of Jamie McKnight, the WPC Concreting Falcon. Duran's managed to pick up Jacob on that lap. Jacob won't be too compressed. He's got a bit of damage to the front of the car. It's fresh damage this lap, so I'm not sure if there was some contact between him and Duran. Duran's got that position second, chasing Jamie now. See the spin there on the exit. Been Tim Dawes, yeah, he's back to the pits. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. Yeah, lost it on the cutting, unfortunate, especially with that oncoming traffic coming. All the cars have managed to get around him luckily, and there's been no incident there. That's back to the pits for Tim though, on the back of the tow truck. More time lost out of this race for him. I'm just looking as Nick comes up on the back of the Chief. See how wide the Chief can make this number 17 Falcon. Nick runs really wide out of the elbow there. Possibly grabbing a bit of wall. Lost a lot of time there on Shane. Giving him a bit more breathing space for another couple of laps, or another lap anyway. Braden Bateman back in position 8th. Bit of damage to his car as well. Bones. Number 9 and Tyson, number 10. Jump on board. Something really bizarre just happened. We're on board with Duran now up behind Jamie McKnight. Quite the car I was aiming for. Go on board with Nick Cummings, who's in position 7 and looking to pass the Chief. A little bit of an untidy entry. Oh, we've got another car out there. That looked like Brian Ball possibly. Round and round and round he goes. Replay of that. Big loss in turn 2. Managed to keep it out of the way. Unfortunate for him. Send him back to 10th position. So we go back to Nick Cummings, sitting behind the Chief, who's also got Kyle Stokes in front of him. Position 4, 5 and 6. See the Chief holding that tight line. It looked like there was a car in the air. There is. That is Kyle Stokes. I think. No, it wasn't Kyle Stokes. It was Jacob Knight. Big off. Over and over and over it goes. Let's get a replay of that. Across the top of Skyline. A little bit loose at the gutter. Tried to hold it, grabbed some wall, big crash down through the S's and into the dipper. That's a massive smash. Lucky for those cars to get around him. Well, as we see Braden come in and take him out as well, that's big damage to his vehicle. That's unfortunate for those guys. That's definitely a bent rear diff there. The back of that car is well and truly twisted. Hopefully he can hold it on the track and make it back to pits. No, he's managed to take it out Forest Elbow as well. be a toe job back to the pits, I think, and that might be the end of his race. But as we see, a challenge for the lead now. Duran was right down the outside. Jamie holding that inside line, very defensive. And that passing manoeuvre was made. Duran now out in front while we're watching those replays. Jamie McKnight, I think we're seeing in the pits at the moment. Also seeing the Chief and Tyson hit pit lane. The first of the two lot of pit stops on lap number 7. It's given Nick Cummings a bit of fresh air as he's passed Kyle Stokes. He'll be on the chase for Duran now, get some fresh air, put the lap times down. His last lap time was a 2:07, so quite slow. His fastest lap time so far in this race is a 2:04.1. That's the fastest lap in the race out of all of them, as we see Kyle whiz past the camera at the top of the mountain. You see these guys have made their pit stop. Jamie McKnight's been in, setting pit lane, a total drive through of 34 seconds. Shane managed to pick him off by a second there. Possibly a little bit less fuel required in that vehicle. Kyle Stokes in position 3. We'll see if Duran pulls a pit stop now. He's got a bit of damage to the front of that car. Possibly slowing him down a little. As we see Duran pull left into the pit lane. He'll be wanting to get in and out of here as quick as possible. On the anchors of the pit lane, pit limiter straight on. We see Nick coming behind him. Kyle also. All follow suit. With the challenge to see how these guys get their pit stops done and get back out on the track, because the Jamie McKnight's not too far away. Currently 30 seconds behind. Hang on, we're looking at the gap. 30 seconds behind. These guys will want to get in and out of the pit lane as we see Duran is out of there. Good stop for Duran. 15 seconds on the stop. Jamie McKnight's coming around though. Not going to quite bail him up. Jamie might quite catch him by the end of the straight. Duran's got cold tyres. Jamie's one lap warm. The Chief sitting into position 3 with Nick Cummings coming out of the pits also in position 4. Kyle Stokes 5. That's the top. That's all cars that have been in and done their pit stop. The top 10 after the pit stops. Duran out there in front with the best lap of 2:04.1. Jamie 2:05.5. Nick Cummings still doing the best lap time out there with the 2:04.16. Just beating Duran with the 2:04.18. Brian Borg in 6th. Tyson in 7th. Riley 8th. Russell 9. And 10 Bones. 30 seconds back from the leaders. We're 8 laps into this 20-lap race tonight here at Mount Panorama. Brought to you by Wheelybins Mayhem Republic on Wheelybins TV. This is our 4th race on race round number 4. We have one more race in round number 4, and next Saturday night the Silverstone 260. It's 260 kilometres or 45 laps of the Silverstone GP historic track. That's an hour out on the track, so we're talking a 40-minute race here at Mount Panorama. It'll be an hour race at Silverstone. That's a tough track, some tough corners. You've got to have a well set up car to be able to manage that, the tyre life on that circuit. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you don't miss anything. You'll get the reminders, you'll know when it's on. Bit of a lock up there for Duran. Don't forget, if you want more information, head over to our website, wheelybinsmayhemofrepublic.com. Information on our schedules, our rules, also our links to our videos, and other videos that aren't actually up on YouTube. There's secret videos there shared by other people. Some of the mayhem that has happened in the past. And also get to see some of the drivers' bios. Some of these guys open up and tell you a little bit about themselves. Albeit very little, but interesting nevertheless. See Nick still in position 4, chasing the Chief. Not much movement in that. The Chief has got a little bit of lap time gain through his pit, so he's got a little bit of damage to the front right of that car too. Duran's managed to pull out a bit of a lead with almost 5 seconds out in front now. Once they let the wolf out of the cage, he's very hard to keep a hold of and keep back. He'll be pushing out some fast lead times, although it does look like he's having some net errors and issues. He was talking about that at the end of the shootout, saying he had some PC issues and done some reboots. Could be hampering him again, as we just see his car skip across the track there. A little bit of lag. Hopefully that's not the case and things start to pick up. We have seen him drop out of a race before with these errors. As we see him blink again, it's going to be making it difficult for him to race too. Jamie McKnight will be seeing this up on the track ahead of him. He'll be seeing Duran's car blink in and out. Make it very interesting. Nick's managed to make it past the Chief there, into position 3. Now moving up to Jamie for position 2. Interesting to see how that went down. Unfortunately, we can't roll the replay back. Kyle Stokes now also up on the bumper of Shane. Tyson McAvoy's doing well and has made it into position number 6. Brian Borg in position 7. Work there from Tyson, who's made some great ground, starting from around position 13 to 6th. Good job for Tyson. Ryan Borg with the best lap, 2:05 flat. And Tyson's best at 2:06 flat, so there's a good second difference in the best time, so I'm guessing that Brian's really chasing Tyson. Tyson's got the back of that Commodore quite wide. The chase will be on out of Forest Elbow here. Tyson will be tight on the brakes. Leaves it a little bit wide just to keep that run. A bit wide on the exit. Brian definitely got a better run through the apex of that mid-corner speed. Now Brian will be getting the toe down the straight. Through the chase. Tyson steps to the left. Brian was going to look down the inside. I think he might have backed out of that a little bit, thought better of it. Up the inside, a little bit of a nudge. That's unfortunate for Tyson. Will there be a redress here? I think Brian's thinking about a redress. He's pulled over. Yes, Tyson comes back through for the redress. Great sportsmanship there by Brian. Just a little bit deep on that corner cutting. Grab Tyson on the left rear bumpers. Just give him a bit of a nudge. Awesome sportsmanship by Brian. They've both lost the position though, however. Riley Curtis, who snuck through under the inside while that was happening, picked up a position for him, up into 6th. Russell Boardman in position 9, bringing himself into the top 10. Good work by Russell. McHale sitting in position 10 also, position 10. He actually started the race from the front and dropped back. Let's see him get a little bit slight again. He would drop back to position 14 but made it back to position 10 again now. Bones in the bonus lawn entry to 11. See Matthew Belton up through cutting. See Christopher in position 13. Doing well. Jacob Knight after that horrible crash across the top through the S's. It's unfortunate. He's had that car repaired. Still on the lead lap, luckily hasn't managed to go a lap down, but he is a minute 50 behind the leader now, so Jamie McKnight won't be too far off his tail. Brendan Ryan also must have had some errors as we see the leaders start to come through. Right there by Brendan, letting the leaders come through on that outside of turn 1. Duran's out in front, but Nick's managed to get past Jamie McKnight now into position 2, and he is on the chase of the Wolf. Great racing here tonight at Mount Panorama for these guys. Can Nick make it 4 from 4 so far in this round? Got a 5-second gap to Duran. Duran's last lap with a 2:04.6, Nick's 2:05. Some of the lap times they come around and see Nick's probably lost another half a second on Duran. He's pulled out a really great lap, Duran has. Shane in position 4. Kyle Stokes also making great progress in position 5. Riley 6th. Tyson and Brian have still been battling it out. Looks like Brian's managed to make it through, and Tyson's had some big smoke. What's happened to Tyson? Go back through. Find out what's happened to him. He's got oil all over the car. Oh, he's grabbed that wall off turn 2. Sent him wide. That's not good. It's done some damage to that engine too. The oil coming up on the windscreen. Fortunate for Tyson. Some heavy engine damage. You see him entering pit lane now. That car repaired. Get back out on the track. Unfortunate. Doing probably well. Going to lose a position to McHale and Bones here. Unplanned pit stop, not quite at the right time of the race, lap 13. Not going to be able to get enough fuel to make him through to the end of the race either. It's just out of sequence. Back on the board with Duran across the top. Still got a 6-second gap on Nick. Jamie McKnight starting to lose Nick out of his sights as he chases him away. Nick's got some Jacob Knight in front of him coming around for a lap position. Jacob having that unfortunate crash across the S's earlier. McHale's managed to squeeze up to position 7 now. Playboy and Kleenex entry. Bonus Lawns of Bones, position 8. And a 2:06.1 here tonight so far in this race. And That's your top 10 so far. Russell Boardman in 10th position at the moment. 207. Brian in 9. Graham in 8. 7 is McHale. 6 Riley. Shane is number 5. Jamie McKnight. And number 4 Kyle. And 3 Nick at number 2. And Duran sitting up the top there for now. Number 1. Give it a couple of laps. This race could get quite interesting towards the pointy end. Ooh, as we've seen Brian Borg put it around there. Get a replay of that. Bit of damage to that car. Whoa! Big lose. Too sure rolling out on the back of the track was quite a good idea there. Managed to select first gear and get it off the track. That was lucky. Unfortunate for him, he had also moved up into around about position 7. He's having some real issues with that car getting it into pit lane. Some heavy damage to that car. Two-wheeling it down pit lane. I don't think I've seen that one before. Fortunately, JC Richards is in the pits also at the moment. Had to retire that vehicle. Brendan Ryan is still out on the track. Position 15, Jacob Knight down in 14. Brian Borg, who we've just seen have that spin with the damage into the pit lane. Back to 13 now, just exiting the pits. Fresh car. Team's done a good job there. Russell Boardman in position 12. Done his second stop also. Should be fueled to the end of the race. The leaders are on lap 15. 5 to go here at the mountain. Tyson, after that blown engine, the team has got him back out on the track. Lucky for fast repairs, we can get an engine change done in about 3.5 seconds here in iRacing. Knowing Tyson's teams though, they're a bunch of bros, they'd probably do it in 2.5 for him. Christopher's doing well up into position 10, still done his second pit stop. Riley also done his second in position 9. Matthew Belton still on 1. Look at the top guys also hit their top pit stops. McHale is probably the last one in the field in one of the last 3. Bit of damage also to McHale's car as we see Brendan also in for his final pit stop. They're out on the track and it looks like Nick's managed to pick up a few vital seconds in pit lane. 3 seconds the lane difference between Nick and Duran, and that's 3 seconds out on the track. We're down to 3.7 seconds the difference. This will be the run for the flag. 5 laps here to go. Thanks for sticking around with us here on Wheelybins TV as we see Duran's just pulled out a second on Nick. 5 to go here. Probably 4 to go. I don't reckon that lap count is quite right. Lap 16 to 20 says the official count. Count the final lap. Pretty close to 5 to go. It has caused me wrong times before. We might have these bugs worked out. Nick trying everything he can. He threw out a 2:04 flat. As his best lap so far. That was 2 laps ago. That would have been just before his pit stop. Bit of damage to that vehicle again. Bouncing off the walls. Lost another half a second. Kyle Stokes managed to pull it up into position 3. Chief not far behind in 1.2 seconds. Jamie McKnight's dropped back to position 5. A lot of damage to the front of that car. I wonder what has happened there. We'll see if we go back. Whoa! We had a big crash there with Jamie McKnight. Up into the cutting. The inside 2 wheels up into the tyre power wall. That big damage to deal with Kyle Stokes there. See if we can get that on replay again. A lot of damage. The chase. Jamie's up around the outside. Kyle stuck his nose down on the inside. Just nicked the inside of the car. I think Jamie's going to be too happy with that move. Looking at the replay, and Kyle was quite a fair way up the inside, so race terms legal, ethical, maybe not. Jamie won't be too happy with that, having to take a pit stop, dropping him back many positions. There's no way he can race with that vehicle for the rest of the race. 4 to go here at the mountain. As you see, Nick's dropped back another half a second, just over 5 seconds to Duran. Kyle now on the chase. The Chief in number 4. Jamie McKnight hitting the pits for some repairs. Sorry about a couple of minutes silence there. Hosting on my own. I do have other things to do, unfortunately. Put the kids to bed, say goodnight. Mikhail's been a winner and a loser in this race, it's for sure. Starting at the first, back to 14th position. He's moved his way back up to position 5 now. Duran's still pulling away from Nick. 3 laps to go here at the mountain. It's been an awesome race tonight. Jamie McKnight's also back out on track with that repaired car after that incident at the cutting with Kyle. No doubt there's probably a bit of steam in the helmet there from that. From what I could see, Kyle was well up the inside there. It's just a little bit of contact. It was unfortunate that there was so much damage caused to that vehicle. Just a bit of a clip to the front right. Riley Curtis has been a bit of a mover and shaker this race too, moving up to position 7. Tyson's back up to position 8. Awesome effort to get into the top 10 there after that blown engine change. Great work by Tyson. A little bit loose, probably a little bit hot, chasing Riley into that corner. Bones in position 9. Great effort by him here tonight at the mountain. Matthew Belton, position 10 in the top 10. Well done to him in the WPC concreting. 3 laps to go here at the mountain. Christopher in position 11, Russell Boardman in position 12, Jacob Knight fighting his way back after that incident across the top of the mountain, position 13, Brendan Ryan, number 14. As we see a long list of retirements here tonight, Brian Boyle, Jason Richards, Braden Bateman, Rob Dennis, Tim Dawes and Vincent all unfortunately have to retire from this race. Good to see Brendan out there on the track finishing this race. It's it for points. You get points for finishes, you don't get points for no finishing, so and being in position 14, that's reasonable points for him in tonight's race. Two to go here at the mountain, lap number 19. Duran's ran a great race, starting back in 8th position after winning the shootout. Send him back to 8th position on the grid for the race. Pushed his way through. Not pushed his way through, brought his way through cleanly actually. Done some nice driving to get himself up into this first position. Nick's been pushing hard still to try and catch him, but unable to match those lap times. The lap time of Duran, a 2:04.1 that last lap. His best a 2:03.9. Compared to Nick's a 2:04.5 the last time around, best 2:04.0. Duran has certainly got this car running well tonight. Kyle Stokes position 3 in the Autobahn entry. Done well also this evening. Great to see him out here on track. The Chief, Shane Evans. Position 4 for him. Good consistency. Good points for him in this series also. And a big thank you to Shane, who puts together these hosted sessions for us nightly, and also these big race sessions. Also a big thanks to Brendan Ryan, who's also a big help in these broadcasts. Manages to do a bit of the background stuff. You might not hear or see him very often, but thanks Brendan, you do a good job. Shane, you also do a great job getting the hosts of races out, and all our admin team with Tyson and Vincent, they help us out immensely. Pete Davison can't be here in the commentary box unfortunately tonight. See you here next time maybe, Pete, if you're not doing the Silverstone. Thanks to him for his help throughout the last couple of days. Cheers guys. Holtzy, he was here early on in practice, unable to make the race by the looks this evening, but big cheers to Holtzy, always a big help. Great with the video editing. The Mayhem video and the Pelican winking. I still don't know how to make a Pelican wink, but Holtzy can. Final lap to go. Duran out front, up through the mountain for the final time tonight. Absolutely awesome session. A little bit of damage early onto that car, but managed to get that cleaned up in the pit stop. Kept it straight for the rest of the race. Final time up across the top of the mountain, over the rise and through Skyline. Awesome race by Duran, down around the final turn now to take out the 2018 Venom Series Bathurst Shootout. Duran Nakora number 1. Awesome job by him. No doubt there will be some burnouts down the end there for Duran. Great work by him. Second place, awesome effort as well. Nick had a bit of a problem there in the shootout and couldn't get his shootout lap done, but great nevertheless, managed to fight his way back to second. Kyle Stokes there in third. Awesome race also by him. We'll have a bit of a chat to the boys out on the track. Looks like the fuel could have been a little bit of an issue for some of these guys. Well done, guys. Thank you for an awesome race here tonight. Duran, number 1. It was a little bit tough there at the start, fighting your way through the group, but you got it done there in the end, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Dan. Cheers to all the other Wheelybins as well for the great race. Yeah, I just thought I'd just take it easy and conserve the tyres a little bit, and it seemed to pay off there. And then once I got a bit of, I did a bit of a fake on Jamie. I was going to come in and pit actually, and then he came in, so then I thought I'd stay out and see if I can overcut him. And yeah, it just worked out.
Played into your favour, well raced. Congratulations on the win. Nick, position 2 tonight. A little bit of troubles there in the shootout, but managed to come way back and up into number 2. Great racing for you tonight.
Yeah, cheers, Dan. Yeah, it was fun. Starting from 20th was awesome. I'd like to thank everyone that gave me heaps of room and that. That was, yeah, great fun.
Thanks very much for joining. Unfortunately, you couldn't get your 4 from 4 tonight, but 3 from 3 was a pretty good achievement for the first 3 races. Kyle Stokes in position 3 tonight. Great racing by you. Little bit of probably a move up the inside of Jamie there at the cutting, but from what I can see, all things looked a little bit fair. It's just unfortunate what happened, but position 3 for you. Good racing, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, one of those things with Jamie. Like, I thought I was down the inside enough, but hey, one of those things, racing happens. Move on from it. But well done to Duran and Nick. Race well and very quick.
Congratulations, guys. And back to our feature, someone who done really good tonight, Tyson McAvoy. Mate, you had a stellar race. Made some positions up into position 7 by the end of the night. How'd you feel?
Oh yeah, man, that was tough. Very tough. I was fighting there with Riley for a bit and had, what's his name, Brian behind me. Whew, a lot of pressure and then saving fuel in that last stint because I had a little bit of an incident. But yeah, happy to come home in 7th. Very, very, very happy with that.
Well done, guys. Thank you for that. That was awesome racing here again at Mount Panorama. Thank you very much for joining us. The spoils went to Duran in the end with Nick there in 2nd. Hope everyone enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we'll hope to see you all again next time. As I just need to mute these guys in the background because they're still yakking away. Celebratory drinks in pit lane, no doubt. Thank you very much for joining us here on Wheelybins TV. Big thank you to our sponsors, West End Mazda and Limelight Motorsport, for making it all happen. It takes a fair bit of work to get these things off the ground sometimes, and they've stood by us and made it happen and put up the prize money, which makes a big difference to get these races happening. And all the competitors here, thank you very much for joining us here tonight. You can see us again next Saturday night, Silverstone 260 coming your way. 1 hour of racing in the Silverstone historic GP track. That's going to be a tough one. All here on Wheelybins TV. Big thank you to Matt for helping out with the commentary earlier on. Sorry your computer crashed and you weren't able to keep going on. That's alright, mate. Next time. And a big shout out to all the other guys that have helped make this broadcast happen. You guys know who you are. I forget your names, but thank you very much for your help. Congratulations, guys. We'll be signing out here. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast and I hope you have a good evening, and we'll see you again next time.